So, hi, on Friday Permaculture Vibes, watch, learn, and grow. And today I want to talk with you about, like, just let's say basic things. What is permaculture? Because I felt that we didn't really talk about it. So, we will talk about what is permaculture and what is the difference actually between permaculture and landscape design. Because many people they just perceive it like, oh, it's some kind of design, land design, and so on. So, yeah, what is actually the difference between them? And today we will learn what is permaculture, as I said, what is the difference between permaculture and landscape design, and how to create a sustainable system on the site. So, I will share with you some tips or maybe permaculture technique which you can use already. You can use on the in the garden. And I want to start with this picture because I like it a lot. It shows us some circles or some cycles about how permaculture works, how permaculture design works actually. It's not just the design of the garden, it's design of the system and design of the circles. For example, let's start with the house, and you can see the house, and the greenhouse is close to the house, so it gives the more it's the warmest place, let's say, to place the greenhouse near the walls. And you can see the collection of rainwater as well, and then this rainwater will go to the filter, and you can use it to prepare food on to wash something or so on. So you can use this rainwater. And yeah, and then you can see compost toilet, and compost toilet go the leftovers from the compost toilet goes to the plants, like fertilize them, and then you can grow bigger and nicer plants with the compost. And yeah, so it's all the system, and the like energy flows around, and you can see that we kind of don't bring anything from outside. So we have water, we have let's say wood, like from our trees, we have fertilizing from the toilet, we have our own plants, so everything is here, so everything you need is on your side. So I want to say that the permaculture is there is a many like explanation what does permaculture means. It's just one of them, that permaculture is a friendly way interact with nature or design for sustainability. When we are talking about landscape design, the task is just to create nice site, like nice garden for the customer, and it's it and it in landscape design they don't really think about what about like water, what about soil, especially maybe they think about the water and soil inside of the on the site, but not outside, like generally about the ecosystems. But in permaculture, our task is to combine the needs of the customers with the needs of the environment, so that the customer is satisfied. So basically, we take into consideration all the biodiversity, all the plants, all the animals, and so on. And we think about how our decision can change their life, how our decision can um, uh, create like more space for insects, for small animals on the plot, for biodiversity generally. So this is a different that our thinking is more holistic, let's say, because we don't only think about what is happening on our plot. We are thinking about what's around us as well. Yeah, and we have this permaculture ethics, people care, earth care, and fair share. It's a basic permaculture principles. We design all the projects. They are based on permaculture ethics. And first we think about people care, and it's people around us, but not only about us. We need to take care of first, and then we can take care of other people. So it's also important. Sometimes we forget about it and just think about other people, not about us ourselves. Yeah, and Earth care, as I said, we don't think only about our side. We think about Earth generally, about water balance, about soil, about other resources. And fair share, it's about that. It's important to have a balance between what you use and what you produce. Let's say, like what. um, how many resources do you have and how you can distribute them. Yeah, and how does a permaculture designer approach a site? So we have many different elements on the site, and usually we don't think that, oh, I got an idea, I want to do this on my site, and it's it. And I just need to change everything and have like this and this and this. Usually we go to the site and see what is there, what is already there, and what we can get from it and how we can improve it. So we don't really change something. We first observe a lot about what is present, what is good here, what is bad, and let's say, what does nature suggest. And I put this expression in a very in a slow kind of, because and you need to read them and to kind of to make an effort to read them. And then it's about, of course, I could do them properly, but it's about that permaculture designer, he looks like very carefully on the site and think about, what does nature suggest? What is the best to have here? What nature tells us about this site? And then we can plan. Then, like, based on the what we already have, we can plan something and develop this system on the site. And the problem is the solution. Usually, if we have something, for example, table water is too close to the surface, or there is a highway close by, or something like this. We say that problem is the solution. Because, for example, if you have table water very close, it just means that you have enough water to water your plants. And then if you want to plant the trees, you need to have a small hills for them, so they will develop these roots and can survive in this situation. And for example, if you have a road close by, you can sell your goods, your products on the road. So it's also could be an opportunity to use this in your design. And we use a lot zoning of the site. It's very convenient way to understand what needs to be closer to the house, what it needs to be like, what you don't visit every day. It could be far away from your house. And we just place all the elements of our site, for example, kitchens or garden beds, vegetable beds, herbal garden, and so on, in terms of how often we will go there and how often this needs care. For example, if it's herbal garden, I think you can go there every day to pick up some herbs for the tea or for the food. So it needs to be very close to the house. But if it's something like trees for wood, you don't need really Like maybe you will go there once a year, twice a year, but not more. So it could be much far away from the house. Yeah, and all the elements, they go like, first zone it's intensive use, then next zone it's less intensive use, and low intensity like at the last zones. And zone 5, we say that we need some place for wild nature as well, and it will be zone 5. Yeah. And how we design the system. We usually design them how it grows in the forest, especially on the edge of the forest and field or something like this, because in the forest maybe it's just big trees, but on the edge it's usually trees and bushes and herbs and so on. And here you can see the levels of the forest garden, that the highest trees, and then smaller trees, maybe it's fruit trees, and then bushes and herbs. Bob, can you see my where I put the? Okay, thank you. I just need to know if it's visible. And then cover crops at the end. Yeah, so it's a principle how we can combine plants between each other. And then this is the picture from above. And you can see that we also combine them around bigger trees. There is a smaller bushes and then some plants in between of them. So it called guilds. Yeah, and then I want to show you a small video to inspire you. It's about urban permaculture. They have 2,700 kilos of food on 4 acres. It's really amazing, and they also have some animals there. So it's vegetables, fruits. They have chickens, ducks, bees. They have their own electricity and diesel fuel and complete self-sufficiency, and they sell products to restaurants, and they have income to 20,000, and then they have 400 types of edible plants. Bob, let me know if the video is like open, if I can open it properly. Yeah. If it's good sound. In another window, let's try. The sound is not really good. Maybe I can open it somewhere else. I have it here. It's the same sound. No, no, not good sound.
Maybe they could watch it later.
Yeah, yeah. I think the sound is not really good, so I will just send you a link. Bob, I can send you right away, so you can post it, and you can go and see it there. And then I will come back to my presentation. Yeah, so I highly recommend to see it because it's very inspiring and example how you can grow a food in very small, on the very small areas, like really diverse, really rich variety of plants and yeah. And I want to show you also example of the urban permaculture as well, because it's not really only about your own site in the village or so. So we can also adjust it for the city life, and it creates more mm, like let's say regenerative space for the people, and also very with really good microclimate there. And it's the same, like you can use boxes or something like this to grow food, to grow vegetables in the containers on the roof, for example. Yeah, and I want to show you some permaculture techniques which you can use in your project, but please be aware that permaculture is not really about some techniques. It's more about planning, because if we want to plan this very sustainable system, it's not enough to use just, composting on the site, or like to collect rainwater. It's really about planning how you these circles, how you can use all the energy which comes to your site, and which you can like transform and use. So yeah, I have some tips for you, but please remember that permaculture, it's more about design. We say that 90% of the time we do design, planning, and just trying to find a good combination of the elements, and then 10% it's implementation and maintenance for the of the system. So just remember it. And I just want to say that we have permaculture courses here in Avni Oasis Eco Village, and we really work on this um, learning how to design the system, how to design this sustainable system, garden, not only garden, maybe like more about social permaculture, how to design like community and so on. So you are really welcome to visit our website and to check, maybe some course is will be really useful for you. And first, what I want you to recommend is to create a wild zone on the plot. We already talk about it, that there is some spots which is far away from your home, which could be where you go not so often, which could be wild zones. And how you can create them. Just creating shelters for wild animals and insects. It could be shrubs, stones, broken pots, hedges, and so on, or just pile of the branches for small animals, so they can go in and live inside. Yeah, and why you need to do it? Because when we attract these diverse insects and animals, they can help to handle and to keep our system stable. So you will not have so much pests, or you will not have so much disease on your plants, because they can balance it. So you will reduce the need to use chemical plant protection. And the next is choose the right beds. There are lots of variety of beds, raised beds, spiral beds, sunken beds, and so on. But you need to know your site very well. You need to know your climate very well, and then you can understand which kind of bed will be good for you. Because for some climates, climate very nice to have raised bed. For other climate, it's not really possible to grow something there because it's too hot, too dry. Yeah. So if you choose the right bed, garden bed for you, you will get much more harvest from it. Do mixed planting. It means that all the plants you have in your garden, you need to mix them somehow. And it could be aromatic herbs, and just vegetables mixed with each other, and diversity of trees and bushes in the garden. Why we do it? Because most of the pests they found their plants by the smell. For example, cabbage, it smells like, they attracted to this smell, and some other pests, they attracted to the smell of beets and carrots and so on. So if you use this mix of the plants in your beds, it's very difficult for them to find the next plant and to go there. And that's how we can stop them to spread around. Yeah, and focus on woody edible plants. It means that use trees and bushes instead of annual plants, because it's much less work to maintain them than like annual plants, and it will allow you to diversify your diet and minimize the area of planting, and also to reduce the use of plant protection products. Again, like when it's mixed, when it's diverse, it's more difficult for pests to spread. And I have two pictures here. It's an edible chestnut, and you can make flour from edible chestnut instead of wheat flour. So it's kind of an idea. And also these fruits, pawpaw tree or azimina, how we can call it. So it's also nice fruit and not really known fruits. Yeah, and mulch. What you can use like a mulch. It's dry grass, straw, uh, plants that have already left, and stones, and many other things, for example, like cardboard, and maybe some like fiber or textile and so on. Why we do it? It's very like there are many functions of the mulch. The most important, I think, to improve the soil life, and also to keep water, to keep moisture in the ground, in the soil. And it's also very comfortable to step on the mulch instead of the soil. So I would highly recommend you to start using it. Yeah, it's just a question about the slugs, how we can manage it to combine with the mulch, because they very like to be like hidden there. But still, we need some fertilizing for the soil, so we need to think how to do it. Yes, and the next step is water balance. It could be water from the slope, rainwater, and gray water from the house. And you can see this picture of the slope, and the water goes down, and there is a swales which you can make on the slope and keep the water there. With slopes with some mulch inside can keep lots of water, and water doesn't go like this at the lowest point, and it goes in the soil actually. And when it goes in the soil, it creates sprinkles, or like just make soil alive, and improve soil life actually. Why we need to do it? It will allow you to efficient use of available water, to have a reserve of the water for dry period, and actually to have like free water, which you don't need to buy, to pay for. And yeah, as I said, we can use gray water again. And this is a very simple example how it could be. And you can see the two ponds. Here, this is like first part, and this is a bigger pond here, and this is the same first part. This is the bigger pond here. So first, and you can see the pipe here from the house. First, the bottom of the pond is lined with a film and filled with sand. And there are lots of water plants there, which can help to soak to absorb all the like elements from the water, to clean the water actually. And yeah, so water goes from the pipe to this lower pond and goes through the sand and through these plants, and then it goes to the bigger pond, and it's almost clean, so you can use this water to water the plants again. Gray water, by the way, gray water means that it's the water from your kitchen and from your shower. It's not about toilet. It's just kitchen and shower. Yeah, add forest to your garden or a garden to your forest. So you can see the example of the forest garden here. There is a many levels of the forest garden, like some trees, bushes, and then very small plants. And how it can work. It looks like a forest, but all the plants, they are edible. So how we can do it? Create hedge, forest garden, guilds with the plants. And why? It will allow you to increase the variety of your harvest, attract useful birds and animals, provide animals with the food. Yeah, incorporate animals into your site design. It's very nice to have helpers in the garden, and if we can manage them right, the animals can be very helpful in the garden. For example, a chicken can prepare the soil and eat some plants and fertilize the soil and eat some pests as well in the garden. Or, for example, a Sepp Holzer, he uses, this is a picture from his site in Elb. So he uses pigs a lot to prepare soil as well. And he says that I just threw some corn where they need to work, and then they go there and dig the soil. They just think that there is more corn there, and they dig the soil. They take away all the plants, and then after that it's ready to plant something. It's ready for the garden beds and so on. So we can add them into our designs, into our system and circles, so they can also serve us and help us. Yeah, so why we do it? We will improve the soil, get rid of pests, reduce your labor cost for feeding and care. Yeah, and if you didn't start, so please start composting, because it's possible. I have seen this example even in the apartment, in the flat. You can have a small composter where you process your food leftovers into the soil, into the compost. How you can use compost heaps, composters, so that containers, composting in the bed, to do composting in the beds, as you see here on the picture. You can use vermicomposting and chicken composting. It means that worms or chicken will eat leftovers, and then they poop, and then you can have compost from it. Yeah, why you need to do it? It will improve the soil, get rid of organic waste, reduce your time and labor cost, and warm water. And here you can see the pile of the compost, which can heat water, and you can use this water in your house. So it's also the idea. It's also the how we can circulate this energy. Yeah, and actually create cycles. We already talk about it a little, but I want to repeat that it's really important to think how to keep energy going in your site and not allow to just go out. Yeah, and how we can do it? Look for beneficial connection between elements and place them so that they interact with each other. And I can show you some example here. I took four elements: ducks, pond, forest, garden beds, and I showed some connection between them. For example, ducks and pond. Ducks can have access to the water, and they can have protection against foxes when they are in the water. And pond can give water for the forest garden and fire protection if you will place it in the right spot, so it can where you have like maybe fire coming, so it could be a protection as well. And forest garden can give organic matter and good insects for garden beds. And from garden beds we can get some feed, some plant leftovers for the ducks, and ducks can protect garden beds against slugs. So it's all about these circles, and then we think how we can combine these elements in our system, in our on our side. So okay, ducks needs to be close to the pond, they need to be close to the garden beds, and so on. Yeah, so this will ensure the sustainability of the system of your garden. Yeah, and the last tip I can give you, look at your plot from a different angle. So when we are planning so difficult, maybe circles or cycles, we need to think we need to take into consideration many things about our site. And there is just some of them, it's not the like all, but at least this one we need to know: where is the winds blow from, how water flows on the site during rain, where and when the first and last frost occur, uh, where the shadow falls in summer and winter, what plants already grow on on the site, what animals, birds, and insects are present on the site in different seasons, what resources are available on the site and nearby, what kind of soil do you have, what is the depth of groundwater, and why we need to do it. To not fight with nature, but cooperate with it. We need to know all of these things to create really good system for this plant, to create a plot, to have a really nice plants which will grow without our care, let's say, on this type of soil, on this like amount of water which they can get without our support, and so on. Yeah, so it's it for today. Thank you very much for joining us. And I want to invite you to discover the joy of meaningful connection and sustainable living in our eco village. We're very welcoming uh, to new volunteers and member of our community. So you can see all of our pages in social media and also mail and address. And please join and go to our website and check. Maybe you will find something really interesting for you. And thank you very much and have a good weekend.